this week we're going to do something with subject, verb, agreement, and complements. Review a couple things from last week. Every single sentence I've done is pulled from the ACT. So we're going to kind of walk through this together, see how we do. So review from last week. The subject of the sentence, remember, is always going to be a noun. And it is going to be or, which is also a person, place, or thing. And this will be the noun doing the action. So we're going to talk about direct objects this week as well, and that's going to be the noun receiving the action. The subject is always going to be the one doing the action. And so how do you find it? You need to identify the noun doing the action. You need to cross out all modifiers. This might be phrases surrounded with commas. This might be what we call a prepositional phrase. This is going to be information that comes after a comma. In a simple sentence. Okay, so for example, we have to figure out what the noun that is doing the action. So let's look at this one for number 1. It says the answers you run on the test shows what type of personality you have. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and identify the verb. And that's a great place to start if you're not sure where to start. So you can always start with identifying the verb. So I'm going to draw my diagram, and I'm going to put shows right there. Awesome. Then I need to look for the noun, kind of identify my nouns. So I have a noun here, I have a noun there, I have a noun here, I have a noun here. Okay, and I have a noun here. So, and there. So what you need to start doing is kind of getting rid of some things. So of personality, you have is a prepositional phrase. You can cross that out. The answer you write on the test is some extra information. It's describing the answers. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out too. So I'm kind of looking and I'm like, okay, what noun is doing the action? Well, that is going to be answers. So I'm going to write answers right here. But I have a problem, huge problem. Answers is plural. Shows, when you have a verb with an S, is singular. So these do not match. So I need to cross out that S to make it match. So the subject is answers and the verb is show. Very good. Okay, so that's number 1. Let's do the same thing for number 2. Mike, along with his friends, hope to study graphic design. So to study graphic design we've got 2 in there. That's a prepositional phrase. We're going to cross that out. We know hope is a verb. And then whenever you see commas, circle them. So this phrase right here is surrounded with commas, which means I can take that out of the sentence. Anytime something is surrounded with commas, I'm going to even draw back up. you can get rid of it. So the only noun we have left is going to be Mike, and Mike is the one hoping. So I'm going to go ahead and diagram this. Okay, so Mike we know is singular. There's only one Mike. Hope is missing that S, so that is going to be plural. Wait a second. They do not match. So you need to add an S right there. Mike hopes. That's going to make sure that it agrees. But notice what the ACT is, and these are ACT questions right off of there. Excuse me. Notice how much extra information they're adding to confuse you. That is because the ACT is trying to trick you. They do not want you to be successful. They want average kids, but you will win. You will win. Before we go on to the next thing, go ahead for me right here. I want you to write down your favorite color. Want to learn a little bit more about you? I want you to write down your favorite color. Okay, so let's try a couple other ones to see how we do. So it says a mother journeys to a nearby star and returns much younger than her daughter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead first. I'm going to identify my verbs. So I have returns and I have journeys. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is start crossing out some of the modifiers. So to a nearby star is describing journey, so I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. Much younger than her daughter is describing how she returns. I'm going to cross that one out too. And so all I have left at this point is one noun, and that's going to be mother. Mother journeys, mother returns. That matches because that mother is doing both of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and diagram that. So I have one subject. Okay, but I have two verbs right now. So we need to be able to show these two verbs. So journeys and then returns. I'm going to put the and right in the middle. So I'm going to check right now. Mother, journeys, that's mother is singular. Journeys is singular. It's got that S. Returns is singular. So that one works. Let's look at number 3. So we have a pig intestines was bought. Yum. Okay, so we know our verb, remember, was bought. They are both verbs. A pig intestines is describing plate. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. It's a prepositional phrase. Plate was what was bought. So we know that that is going to be our subject. So let's go ahead and diagram this. Awesome. All right, so I want you guys to go ahead and try number 1 and number 2. I'll give you a hint. Remember, neither and nor, you're always going to treat the verb equals singular. So make sure you guys correct it. So you're going to go ahead, label, diagram, correct. All right, so direct objects, super easy. We call it a complement because it complements the predicate. So it is the noun, and it's always going to be a noun. I'm underlining that. That receives the action. So oftentimes will be on other side of the verb, because it's receiving it. Now that is not always. Sometimes they want to trick you. So that way, so it's not always that way, but it will. And that's how you identify it as well. You're going to go through, and I would identify the verbs first. Cross out modifiers. Identify subject. and then identify the direct object. Awesome. Remember, it's always going to be, and I'm even going to circle it in pink for you, noun. Awesome. All right, so let's try a couple really easy ones. The baby kicked the ball. So I know my verb is kicked. Who is kicking the ball? That's going to be the baby, so that's my subject. And then my direct object, I only have one noun left, is going to be ball. So when I diagram this, we're going to see baby. And then this line right here always shows the start of the predicate. So that I know the verb is going to come next. So kicked. And then this is a straight line, not slanted. We'll talk about slanted lines next week. You're going to put ball. Slanted lines have a special place. Direct objects, those nouns, always going to be a straight line. But notice, it's not as long as this line. And the reason for that is if you made that line longer, you would say, show me another predicate. There's only one predicate in a sentence. All right, let's try this one. Bill is going to be my subject. He is playing, so that's our verb. And then what are they playing? Guitar. Doing what? All right, let's diagram. Bill played, and then guitar is our direct object. Okay. I want to do this one together really fast but I'm going to let you guys diagram it. Okay, so we know our verbs are going to be broke and instituted. With conventions is a prepositional phrase. It's describing how it broke, and we'll talk more about prep phrases next week. So Hewlett-Packard is the one that broke it, so we know that's our subject. And then Dress Down Fridays is what is being done, so that's going to be our direct object. So I want you to try diagramming, and I want you to do this one. Check subject-verb agreement too. Make sure that the subject agrees with its verb. All right, guys, let's have Grammar Friday is going to be awesome. All right, thank you guys.